No sweat. No sweat. That's like work. No sweat. I got a bunch of soldiers I can go get. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't fell victim to you open shit. No sweat. No sweat. They try to see me running through their whole set. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't fell victim to you whole shit. I ain't top 40 or nothing, but I can do that. To make a single is no biggie, not even two that. My tracks beat so hard, leave a nigga blue black. And when it flood, had a young blood, like how you do that. I'm old school, straight out the city, like I'm a new jack. And I was raised in these streets, where the shoe at? See, I'm the type of boss that walk in like where the loot at. And you the type of sucker that real niggas to shoot at. Enough about me and you, cause we know what the difference is. Y'all talk too much, like compound sentences. I'm about to work this beat, hope I don't need no witnesses. When we slide through, it's real niggas on the premises. If they get a thing at all, but this is just a genesis. Say you wanna run it, you better lace up your tendencies. Ain't about how you get it, nigga, it's how you finish it. We put in that work, and now it's time to reap the benefits. That's like work, no sweat. I got a bunch of soldiers I can go get. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't fell victim to you open shit. No sweat, no sweat. They try to see me running through their whole set. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't fell victim to you whole shit. My job is being the man, I'm still doing it. Now watch me eat these beats alive, not even chewing it. Get these young niggas with gangs and then they ruin it. You might as well sit your ass down until I'm through it. I never beatboxing and freestyling with super shit. That nigga caught 15 years over some stupid shit. We used to dream about this rap thing becoming lucrative, but now my whole aim has changed. I'm chasing moving shit. My dogs can't bring the bang, but we not Wu-Tang. We walk in, we shut shit down. That's how we do things. These rap niggas lie. We come to give you that true gang. And I'm a rhyme based on a true story like 2K. How did that blue flame? We ain't moving down though. Headed to the top. We started off at the ground floor. Y'all niggas brown nose, like y'all on the down low. Game over, but you clowns still hanging round, bro. That's like work, no sweat. I got a bunch of soldiers I can go get. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't fell victim to you open shit. No sweat, no sweat. They try to see me running through their whole set. They think they doing something, they ain't no threat. And I ain't fell victim to you whole shit. No sweat, no sweat. No sweat. No sweat. No sweat. No sweat.
SHALAM. The Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West and 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General YAHANNA. This Officer Habernaz, the Wednesday Houston I.S.U.P.K Houston Wednesday law class. And as usual, every week, you understand, we're going to bring out these scriptures according to the Lord and the law pertaining to thereof. You understand? So what I want to do is, like every week, well, almost every week, I want to open up the floor to questions in the room. And then we'll see where we go from there. So you had a question, huh, Ron?
Come.
What is it?
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and 14. Is it saying that men are supposed to have long hair?
Get that from me, Yeshaya. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. So the question is basically, is this scripture saying that men are not supposed to have long hair? That's the question. Is this scripture saying that men are not supposed to have long hair? We're going to read the scripture first, and then we're going to So let me ask, what does the law say about a man in his hair? Is anybody familiar with the law? Go ahead. You want to try to give it a shot?
But I know it says you're supposed to round the corners of your beard and round the beard.
Right. So you're not supposed to shave your head bald, nor give yourself an edge. When it says round the corners of your head, it's talking about giving yourself an edge up. In the spirit behind the law is always, if you know anything about the law class, and you know how I.S.U.P.K teaches and understand the breakdown, there's always a spirit behind the law. There's no law just for no reason, just because. There's always a reason why this law is in place, right? So now, when it says you're not supposed to shave your head bald or round the corners of your head, when it says you're not supposed to round the corners of your head, like give yourself an edge, why is it saying that? What's the spirit behind it? Go ahead, sis. Don't we have two mics? Oh, sorry.
Because that was the tradition of the heathens.
Okay, well, I would say yes, that is true, and let's see it from not just from the fact that it's a tradition, it's not a Israelite custom, but also it's also another reason why. If you round the corners of your head, it's a reason why you're not supposed to like trim that. You want to try to give it a shot? Sean, go ahead.
Okay, sir, because it's gonna push the hairline all the way back.
Right. Your hair won't grow in that spot. Like if you are edging yourself up, you are cutting off the natural. If you know anybody, like everybody has a natural hairline, right? When you get to cutting your hair and trimming it up, have you noticed throughout the years, some brothers have to keep going further back and further back and further back, and for the next thing you know, you got the damn edge up at the middle of your head. You understand? You're gonna be looking like LeBron James before the growth. You understand? Like that's the point of that. There's no difference. Same thing with your beard. You're not supposed to maul the corners of your beard either. Because if you do that, you're cutting into the natural ordinance in which your beard grows. Men have a natural mane, black men, you understand? Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, we have natural mane. You understand? Where if you get to cutting into that, like if I shave this, my hair is not, eventually it's gonna get to a point where this won't grow. The more and more you shave it, or it won't grow right. You understand? So that's another thing. Like I experienced that when I first started growing my beard. I had to trim it down and regrow it because when I first started growing it, I was going a little bit too further than what my hair grows. Now some brothers' hair don't grow there. If it don't grow there, then that's cool. You're not messing up the natural state of your beard. You understand? Your hair don't grow there, then you can shave everything else around it. That's fine. But obviously you see I got a full beard. While it's still like this, I'm not gonna trim into it. I'm not gonna cut into it. You understand? I'm not gonna disrupt the natural order of things. So this scripture, let's read this scripture, what it says.
In the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?
So it says, do it not even nature teach itself, even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him. So now, how do y'all interpret that? There's no wrong answer, by the way. I'm gonna break it down. I just want to see how does that sound. It sounds like basically that it's a shame for a man to have long hair, right? That's what the scripture's saying. Well, that's what it would be interpreted as, right? Read it again.
Come. Doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?
Go ahead, Sid.
Our women, our Israelite women had hair that would grow.
I can barely hear you, sis. I'm sorry.
Our sisters, way back when, their hair would grow so long, it would go to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing that it meant that a brother wasn't supposed to have hair long like a woman.
That is true. That is true. But it says, do it nature. See, this is the key thing that you want to listen. That's true what you're saying. The man that's supposed to. If a brother, listen, if you got hair, like, I mean, well, there's no law, there's no sin, but at the same time, there's certain things like we brought out last week, it's not expedient. You understand what I'm saying? Just because, well, there's no law, there's no sin, but no brother should be walking around with hair passes, his backside or whatever, man. That, so now some brothers have hair coming down their back. Some brothers have long hair coming down to the, maybe not that far, but close to it. And I wouldn't deem that brother is a homosexual just because of that. You know what I'm saying? But if it gets to the point where it's too long, then obviously you want to cut it. But this scripture is actually saying the key word in it is do not even nature. You understand? So I'm gonna break it down for you. When it says do it not even nature, it's self-teaching. What happens naturally after a while, after a man gets old? To his hair. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They go bald.
They go bald. So what happened? Nature does it for you. You don't have to shave your head bald because nature's gonna do it. When nature does it, you just gotta live with it. You understand? You better enjoy it while you got it. So this is what this scripture is saying. You're not supposed to go and cut your hair. Well, you're not supposed to shave your head bald. There's nothing wrong. First of all, there's no law saying a man can't cut his hair. Let's get that straight. A man you can cut your hair all the way down to where you barely can see it. But as long as you're not shaving your head bald, the law says do not bald your heads. You understand? So a man can cut his hair all he wants to. There's no law saying a man cannot cut his hair. It's only breaking the law when you're balding your head. You're shaving your head bald. You understand? So what this scripture is saying, even now, a brother can have long hair. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's saying nature is gonna eventually, that your hair gonna fall out eventually. I mean, not now. Some brothers have a good, greater hair or whatever in their family, and it may take them longer. But now, like every brother I done seen that was bald, but depending on how old they get, you understand. Once they reach a certain age, you're gonna have the hairline is definitely gonna start getting pushed back. You understand? You gonna have, if you want to have long hair when you're old, if you ain't got no hair right here, you just gonna have long hair all the way. You gonna have what they call that, man, a mullet or something. You understand? So that's basically what it's saying. It's saying let nature run its course. There's nothing wrong with, what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with you cutting your hair. You understand? But you want to, and then too, like the sister said, you don't want to be walking around here looking like a woman. If you're supposed to make yourself sure, you're not supposed to be double-minded on anything. You don't want to have somebody looking at you like, is that a woman or what's going on? You don't want that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, again, too, brothers that have long hair, I know real men that have long hair like that come down their back. How do they usually keep their hair? They usually put it in like a ponytail, blown out ponytail, like how brothers, how we keep we ain't finna wear it down like a woman, like how women had to straighten their hair and it be coming down. No, we don't wear hair like that. It's gonna either be braided up, you understand, or it's gonna be like in a ponytail where it's blown out. Well, you really won't even see the length in a ponytail because it's all what they call it, shrinkage or something. Like it be shrunk up because it be, that's how nigga hair is. You understand? It don't be like that. So you won't even know it's that long. You'll be surprised. You see a brother and he got a nice little old ponytail or a fro or whatnot. Then when you actually like maybe, put a little heat to it and, actually kind of blow it out, you see that length. You're like, wow, your hair is really long. But you're not really a brother that's not gonna be wearing his hair straightened up, down all the way, like a woman will wear her hair. Go ahead.
So this is pertaining to this question.
Uh-huh.
I used to have a demon where I would cut all my hair off.
You said you had what?
I had a demon. I just cut all my hair
off.
Right. Sometimes I would shape it bald, and sometimes I would get just really, really damn near bald.
Right.
So we're not. So is that?
No, you're not supposed to cut your hair.
That's transgressing.
Don't. That's your glory. For a woman, that is your glory. You understand? Just like, okay, let me show you something. Just how nature do with the man, how eventually the man go bald, do the women naturally go bald?
Not typically.
Not unless there's something going on. But normally, in a natural state and everything's healthy, a woman hair don't go bald. Man does. It don't matter what a man can do. Like, eventually, I know, like, I got good hair. I got long hair. eventually I know I got to deal with the fact that I'm going to ball. You know what I mean? It's just going to happen. It's something that men have to deal with. You understand that I'm gonna go bald. I'm gonna make the hey, look, I'm gonna be the best looking bald man I can be. You understand? But it's gonna happen. Women usually don't. Their hair don't fall out. Men do. So naturally, it's just letting you know the order in things, like the nature in things. A man's hair is not his glory, but it is a sin to bald your head. You see what I'm saying? But a woman, you don't supposed to cut. That's your glory. Let that glory, and I don't care where it's at and let now. Wherever it's at. Not cherish it, like worship it, but embrace it and take care of it. You understand? That's your glory as a woman. Yes, something else you want? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
It's First Corinthians 11:5, where it says that if she be, can we get it?
You said 11 and 5?
Is it?
When you saying pray and prophesy? Or no, it's the next verse. You talking about 15, where it says, "But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory unto her, for her hair is given her for a covering."
Before after that, we're talking about it's a shame, like if she's shorn, if it be a shame to her that she be shorn, let her not cut her hair.
You said I can barely. I don't know if is the microphone level up?
Yeah.
Because I can barely hear you. I don't know if it's because of the fan. But so you said, say it again.
We're saying that if she be, if she be shorn, if it be a shame for her to be shorn, then she shouldn't cut her hair. If it be a shame, I was never ashamed of having very short hair.
I'm not really familiar with the scripture that you speak. Verse 6. Oh, okay. Let's get it. Let's start at 5.
Come in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 6. Well, select verse 5. But every woman that prayed or prophesied with her head uncovered dishonored her head, for that is even all one as if she were shaven.
Oh, okay, so it says, but every woman that prayed or prophesied with her head uncovered dishonored her head, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. Okay, so what?
I don't understand that. What does that mean?
Okay, read verse 6.
Come, verse 6. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But
I'll give you some feedback. Is that from me or is that from just you turning up the volume? Or is it because both mics are on? Okay, go ahead.
Come, verse 6. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn.
Mm-hmm.
But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered.
Okay, so what it's saying is when you pray and prophesy, like while you're in class or when you pray, you're supposed to have your head covered. If you don't have your head covered, you might as well just have it. Yeah, you might because both are dishonor. Having your head, you cutting your hair and shaving your hair is still dishonoring your head. That's why women should let their glory. That's your glory. You understand? And also, it's for covering. Remember, the scripture says it's for covering. So if you shave your head, you're dishonoring your head. Go ahead.
Your head as in your head, or your head as in your husband?
No, your head as in your hair. This is talking about your hair. Now, let me ask you this. Why are you covering your hair when you pray and prophesy or be in the presence of a teacher? Turn the other microphone off if you could.
Because the scriptures say to.
Nah, you just said it. You gave the answer.
Oh, because then you're disrespecting your husband if you do.
Exactly.
Oh.
It's to show humbleness. It's to show submission to your husband. And, because you got to understand, is that what it is? You got to show submission to your husband. That's everything that women got to understand something. Everything that you do, every way in which way you move, is because of your husband. If you're not married, obviously it's because of the men. It's for the men over you. It's for the brothers that are over you, the priests and prophets of the Lord, commanded to YAHANNA, so on, the generals. It's a sign. It's a sign of submission, humbleness, showing that you are humble and meek. You understand, and not meek in the sense of weak, in the sense that you understand your role as a woman. You understand? That's what you're not covering your head because, like, you know what I'm saying? The Lord just wants your head covered. You covering your head, everything, like, that's the spookiness that we have to remove out. The Christians put that spookiness on the Bible, like, oh, the Lord is my man, or Christ is my man, and this and that, I'm doing this for him, and I just love Christ. And you understand what I'm saying? Like how women, Christian women, especially in the churches, it's like they worship Christ as the man, like, oh, he's my husband, and I only answer to him. But you got to answer to the other men that are above you. You understand that the role, of course, now, when it says the man, the Most High, Christ, the man, the woman, that's talking about the household, but also there's no woman that's over a man either. You understand? So you doing that, you covering your head because you understand not only when you're in the, you know, praying or prophesying, or when men are prophesying, you're doing it. You're doing it because the scriptures say so, but it's also in reverence to your husband, to the men over you. You understand what I'm saying? It's I remember when I believe it was General Hyman had broke this down, and that's what that's pretty much what he said. It's showing reverence to the man over you. You understand what I'm saying? Because he wants that. Your man, you want to be submissive to your husband. So that's what that's for. Is that you good on that? Or, I mean, what? Let me ask you something. What is it like? Okay, do you feel like that's an issue? Not anymore. Okay, so you had at one point you like had an issue. Right. But see, that's why, you know, women don't have to have you don't have to have your head covered 24/7. Now, some men may like that. Like, say if it's your husband, like how when you wrap your hair up, and he think that that's the most beautiful thing on earth. Well, guess what? You might want to start doing it more often, because if your husband look at you with that certain spark in his eye because you got your hair wrapped up, and he see that beautifulness in you when you are more covered up, a dress on, you know, head wrap, and that I would, if I were you, I would do that more because that's pleasing your husband. You understand what I'm saying? But when you pray and prophesy, you cover your head because this is what the Bible said. We follow the scriptures. You understand what I'm saying? But it's really in reverence to the men over you, your husband. You understand? You move how he wants you to move. That's pretty much it. You understand? I mean, I know it's hard for especially women that are more, how can I put it, more self-sufficient. Women that have been raised to be more, you know, do a lot of things on their own. It's hard for them to grasp that aspect of, well, now I gotta answer to him. Now I gotta do what he wants. But what about me? What about what I want? Because guess what? You've been programmed to do this. All you like, this is how you were. Like, you were programmed. Okay, I got this. I took care of this. I came from this. I was at this point, and I brought myself from here and did this. Like, it's a sense of what I need a man for. But in reality, the Most High did those things for you. The Lord did that and put you in those positions to where you were successful and made you. You understand what I'm saying? So the scriptures say the Lord is a man of war. I mean, so if the Lord is a man of war, then Christ was a man. Everybody if you're a Christian, you following the Bible, you following Christ, he's a man. You know what I'm saying? So even in retrospect, and in your mind, subconsciously, you're not following the man, but you really are. You don't really know it. You understand? So it's no different when you get that husband, especially if he's a righteous man. Now, you understand, like, we all at some point, not all of us was righteous. You understand? I wasn't always a righteous man. I didn't always know how to deal with a woman in the right way, like in the scriptures, and how the Lord wanted me to. But guess what? I learned how to do it, and I became a righteous man. So, you know, even the men that may be straying off or not doing things right, you gotta pray that the Lord will deal with them. You understand what I'm saying? And get them on that right path. And if they don't, you know what I'm saying? That's Most High in Christ. You just keep going on your path, and then when that time comes, you know what I'm saying, the Lord will bring that brother that is supposed to lead you right your way. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it go down, man. But I wouldn't tell no woman to rush to get married, but I definitely wouldn't tell you to never get married. I mean, you want to get married and have kids and be, you know what I'm saying? Because some women just like, I never get married. And you could. I mean, that's what you want. You don't have to get married. But come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to encourage them. You know what I mean? I want the kingdom to come. I want all our soldiers to get here. You understand what I'm saying? The only way that's gonna happen is if you get married. You understand? And I definitely would encourage, Judah to do more with the northern tribes, especially some of those that are trying to get from over here from the border and trying to cross. And we need to start marrying some of these sisters, man, so that they can be legal, so that we can build families and stuff, so they don't have to struggle. Did y'all see the story with the? I know I'm going a little bit off topic, but did y'all see the story where the brother and the baby drowned in the water? That's horrible, man. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta, our Judite sisters or sisters that's over here need to start trying to marry these brothers that's maybe coming across the border. Brothers need to start marrying, especially brothers, because we can have multiple women. They need to start marrying these sisters, man, so they can come over here and have a living, man, and we can raise up our people, man. So I would encourage that. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely we want to get to a point where we all get married and have kids and be fruitful, even more fruitful. So yeah, as far as the head covering though, did that answer your question, Ron? All right, no sweat. Did you have any questions, sis?
Mine would be referring to spirits. Like, are spirits real? Are they demons?
When you say spirits, are you saying like ghosts?
Like the dead, yeah.
Okay, give me the reincarnation scripture where it talk about when you die, where your spirit goes. You know that one? No, I don't think it's in Matthew. The one that says they be born again and created and sent back into the earth. Give me a second. Let me get it for you. Hold on. I gotta go through my precepts. Give me a second. I don't really think it's in the New Testament, but read it right quick. I think that's the one when the Pharisees, is that the one where the disciples came and asked him about the child that was born blind or something? Read it right quick. No, not that one. I'm talking about the one physically where it talks about when you die, the spirit goes to the Most High. I gotta go get my reincarnation scripture. Y'all gotta give me a second. So now, what was the exact question on that?
I guess, are they still here with us? Because I saw a live video of this man who was shot the week before, and then the week after, like, he was in the back of the car. You could see it clear as day. It was a ghost.
Give me Psalms 104 and 29. So say that again, sis.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, say that again.
So basically, this man's brother, he was shot.
Mm-hmm.
The week after he was shot, they went to like a slab Sunday, I guess you call it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a live video, like they always do, of the cars, and he was driving.
Mm-hmm.
And in the video, you see the ghost in the back of the car, clear as day.
Mm-hmm.
The car comes back around, the brother gets out the car,
mm-hmm.
and you see the ghost move to the door on the other side of the car.
Okay.
Like he came through
the
door.
I understand. That's all. Since you had something wrong, you wanted to. I found it. It's Psalms. Is that the one you were looking for? The one I'm looking for is Psalms 104 and 29. So you got that, Yeshaya? I just hold that for a second. Okay, now sis, with situations like that, you gotta understand something. On a video, I know it may seem real. I know it may seem like there's no way that this could be anything but real. You understand? But with these videos can be edited. You understand? Videos can be made to look like there's no editing, and then all of a sudden, poof, something happens in the video, and you're like, wow, what the hell was that? There's no way. It's impossible. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, your spirit, once you die, your spirit goes to the Most High. It does not stay here on earth. It goes back to the Creator. You understand what I'm saying? So even though what you've seen in that video may have spooked you and made you feel like this was real, I'm gonna tell you what the scripture says, okay? So we're gonna get the scripture right quick. Read that for me.
Book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 29.
Uh-huh.
Thou hiddest thy face, they are troubled.
Uh-huh.
Thou takest away their breath.
Thou takest away thy breath, meaning they pass away, they die. So that young man that got killed or whatever the week before, his breath was taken away. He died. Go ahead.
They die and return to their dust.
They return to their dust. So the body returns to the dust. You do understand that, right? Your body is just a shell. Your spirit never dies. Your spirit is here. And when you die, it goes to the creator. Your body, though, returns to the dust. It's just, if you go look into a casket right now, you're not gonna see nothing but bones. You're not gonna see flesh because it deteriorates. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 30. Thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created.
So read verse 29 again.
Thou hidest thy face, they are troubled.
Mm-hmm.
Thou takest away their breath.
Uh-huh.
They die and return to their dust.
They die and return to their dust. Go ahead.
Verse 30. Thou sendest forth thy spirit.
So thou sendest forth thy spirit, meaning the Most High, once your spirit goes to be judged, right? Your spirit, once you die, you go into a state, your spirit goes to the Most High and up in the fourth dimension in heaven. You understand, where the Most High is on the throne, you'll be judged. So you got Christ and the angels judging you. You understand, for the things that you've done here on earth, good and bad, right? So now, even though you may have done a lot of bad things, guess what? You may have done a lot of good things too. So it's a little different from the court down here on earth. When you go to court here, you just on the defense of your life. It don't matter what you did good. It's about what you did bad, and you fighting for your life. You be like, I hate to use this, but I like to joke a little bit in my class. But like, what's his name? R. Kelly, when he said, "Yeah, you're killing me with it," like, I'm fighting for my life. That's how you are in court. You understand? You fighting for your life, right? But when you get judged by the Christ and the angels and the Most High, the good and the bad is going to be revealed. You understand? So if you did some good, the Lord may have mercy on your spirit, send you back. You might not come back with cerebral palsy or a missing limb. You understand? But you might, your parents might be crackheads. You know what I'm saying? You might grow up in poverty and really struggle. You understand? Be homeless or something at a young age. You know what I'm saying? But it won't be like you'll have all your limbs and, I use my story, for example. You understand? I grew up similar to that, where both parents were on drugs. I was homeless at the age of 15, all the way up until 21. You understand? Living on the streets, literally. Trying to survive. And in my past life, I may have done some bad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure I did some bad. You understand? But I may have done some good too, to where, okay, I ain't got to suffer that bad. And then I suffered, but now here I am back into the truth, because the scriptures say the spirit of the prophets are subjected to the prophets. That's how you know your spirit don't die. Because who I was before, I was in the truth before. Well, I was subjected to this truth before. That's why I found my way back. When they say my sheep hear my voice, you understand? Obviously, I was actually breaking this down Sunday in class. That's how I'm able to hear the prophets of the Lord and come back into the truth, because I was once, in the past, subjected to that. I may not have came all the way in the truth then, though. I may have did some stuff where I strayed off. That's why I had to suffer a little bit this lifetime. You understand? Now, I don't remember nothing of my past, but I'm just giving an example. So your spirit never dies. Your spirit is your spirit. When you come to a different body, you're always going to come back as the same tribe. So if you're Northern Kingdom, what's your tribe? Ephraim. You're going to come back as Ephraim. You understand? That brother, whatever he was a Judite or whatever, he's going to come back as a Judite. You understand? Now, Lord be with that brother. Hopefully, he come back and he getting his truth. So that's how we do that. But your spirit goes to the Most High. You get judged. Then it says, thou what? Read the point where it says you send us the spirit back.
Verse 30. Thou sendest forth thy spirit.
Thou sendest forth. So the Most High send your spirit back here on earth. You understand? So He send your spirit back. It don't be, oh, the spirit is in limbo and in its state where it wants to hunt people and all that crap. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High has your spirit. He sends it back on earth. Then what happens?
They are created.
They are created again. So now you're being born again through an actual birth. Your parent, giving birth to a kid. You become a baby. You come out of a woman's womb. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you're created again. That's how your spirit comes back on earth. So that video, I wouldn't look too much into those videos.
Well, the video was live, so a whole bunch of people saw it.
I mean, again, you understand? I still would, I'm just telling. If I could put it this way, do you want to believe the video? Or do you want to believe what the Lord said? That's something that you would have to. I can't force you, but that's something that you would have to come to grips with yourself. Like, do I want to believe this video and what this social media is pushing out, or do I want to believe the Lord? Do I have faith in what the Most High said, what the scriptures are? Go ahead.
Could it happen to angel?
Well, the scriptures describe an angel. If you look at the description of the angels, you'll know if you've seen an angel, you would know if you've seen an angel. You understand? It's not going to be something that you're going to be like, oh wow. You're going to be terribly afraid from what Daniel, is that Ezekiel or Daniel? Ezekiel described. You understand what I'm saying? It's a terrible sight. You seeing 7 heads and you know what I'm saying, 2 heads, 2 that's something an angel is you, like I said, you'll know if you see an angel, just like you'll know if you see a chariot. You see a chariot, you're gonna know it's a chariot. You know what I'm saying? So now if you was asking me about UFO sightings and stuff like that, I would tell you, yeah, that would probably be accurate. If you've seen a UFO or something what you would deem as what the white man calls UFO is really the chariots of the Most High. Not every flying device in the sky or something you see a light in the sky is a chariot. But in some instances, there are videos of where people are live recording in the chariot, how the Bible describes the chariot, how it moves from side to side. Like it doesn't move like a traditional aircraft. You know what I'm saying? Then most likely that's a chariot. So you just gotta know what the Bible says and what it describes. But for that video, sis, I wouldn't, that's the Bible is not a spooky thing. We don't, you got to remove that type of stuff from the Bible and all those spirits. And because I know that's very, very popular, especially with our northern, I know a lot of Issachar, really Ephraim. Ephraim is very predominant in the fact that they do that, they go around the house and try to, do with the spirits and stuff, try to, get evil spirits out of them. So it's no different from like voodoo or black magic. We don't. We don't do that. That's witchcraft. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to get out of that state. You know what I'm saying? Trust in the Lord. Don't trust in those videos. All right? So you ain't got to worry about ain't no spirit coming back to haunt you and nothing like that. You ain't got to worry about that. Trust me, I would know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's some people that probably died that do not like me. I would know if somebody was gonna be hunting somebody. You know what I'm saying? But no, I used to kind of believe in that stuff too. Before I came into the truth, my father passed away. I used to keep his ashes and hold on to them and do these things. Like it was like I was worshiping and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's a real thin line. You gotta walk with that. You know what I'm saying? So if you got ashes from loved ones, personally, I know it's tough. But I would get, as you become strong in the truth. I wouldn't say right away. It took me, I didn't happen right away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and my household, it wasn't something that could happen right away, but eventually we understood the magnitude of who are we going to trust? Are we going to be worshiping these ashes or are we going to worship the Lord? Because once your loved one passed, the Lord bring them back. You know what I'm saying? The spirit will come back on the earth. They will be reborn again. You understand? We understand that because this is what Christ taught. This is in our culture, regeneration. So, once you start understanding that, embracing that, it's not as hard it's hard still when you lose a loved one, period. But it's not as hard when you were in the world. When you was in the world, it's like I can't live no more because this person died. You know what I mean? But when you come into the truth, it still hurts, but now you know, may he rise again, may she rise again. And Lord be with them when he rise. Hopefully they come into this truth. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we kind of look at it now. So it gives you comfort, you know, and it gives me comfort too, knowing if when I pass, I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? If I used to, I'm gonna be honest, you know what I'm saying? I used to tell everybody this, but I'll tell you something. When I was in the world, or when I was new into the truth, you know what I'm saying? I had a lot of medical things going on, right? I used to think about death all the time. You think? I mean, even was it Job? I want to say Job. He was even the thought of death was, you know what I'm saying? He was afraid to die. He was going through so much, you know what I'm saying? So we think about death, like the scriptures say, even though, you know, I'm paraphrasing, yeah, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't escape it. It's like a shadow. When you walking down that sidewalk, you remember when you was a kid, you try to beat your shadow and it take off on you. That's how death is. You can't shake it. You understand what I'm saying? So I used to think like I used to couldn't sleep at night because I'd be thinking like, well, what if this happened? What if I die in my sleep? What if, you know, I would stay up all night, had no sleep. You know what I'm saying? Until my body shut down because I was scared to die in my sleep. Now I'm more at ease. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know I'm in the truth, and I know if I die now, I'm righteous. So I know I'm tawab. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I'm not living in wickedness. You're only afraid to die when you're living in wickedness. Once you shake that wickedness and evilness, then you'll start to, I don't want to say embrace death, but you won't be afraid to die. Just like you wouldn't be afraid for Christ to come back. You'd be more happy when you know what I'm saying? Now if you're doing wickedness and Christ come back, you're gonna poop your pants. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be so happy to see Christ in the chariots if you're not living righteous. You understand? So it just goes back into that. So if you have an issue with death, I would say definitely seek counsel on that. Like seek more and more counsel to help get over that. And hopefully I helped you a little bit today in class. You understand? But death is definitely not easy, you know, to deal with. But as you become more into the truth and dealing with these scriptures more, it'll be a little bit more. It'll be more bearable for you. You understand? Is that it? You had another question? That was it? Most High in Christ. Anybody else? Go ahead.
On the topic,
Mm-hmm.
could it be safe to say that a demon is a spirit that's totally against the Lord's commandments?
Okay. A demon. Now, okay, so now speaking of spirit, right? So now we got demons, right? Now, demons are things that you don't see as a spirit, but you see them on people. You see them, it's like an inspiration, just like the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the Most High, but in the sense of inspiring you to do righteousness, right? So if you have the Spirit of the Most High on you, you're going to be inspired to do righteousness. You're going to have that zeal. You're going to do the work of the Lord. You're going to want to come to class. You got that Spirit of the Lord on. You're going to want to teach people the good news. You want to do all these things that inspire you to do righteousness. When you have a demon on you, it's the total opposite. So a demon is basically, a demon is there to weed you out. It's to weed you, it's to get you to turn against the Most High. You know, so that's basically what it is. And it's a tool used. And one of those demons could be fear. You do understand, right? Fear is a demon. You have that sense of fear on you. You're afraid to die. You're afraid of the dark. You're afraid of ghosts, stuff like that. That's a demon. And that demon is to basically get you to believe it, like that video. Like that demon is there to say, no, it was live. I know it's real. I saw it. No, forget what that Bible say. I saw it with my own eyes. You see what I'm saying? And that's a demon. It's gonna be, and as long as I'm not gonna say doing wickedness, because obviously, you know, what I mean is, as long as you give that demon a host, as long as you out here doing evilness, that demon is gonna grow stronger and stronger. And the more that demon grows, the more it's gonna turn you away from the Bible. So if you see yourself going against the scriptures or see yourself thinking like against the scriptures, that's a demon. And you want to try to get that demon off you. You know what I'm saying? Fight it. And this is the best way to fight it. I'm gonna be honest. Being in class, Being around righteous people, that's how I had to fight it. Those demons I had, a weed demon I had all types of demons. I don't even want to go into details. You understand what I'm saying? And the only way I was able to fight these demons was to be around righteous people, stay in class. You know what I'm saying? Like as a trooper, as a student, we had to sign in class. We had to literally 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 5 days a week, we had to be in class. So that helped a lot. The structure that the I.S.U.P.K have set in place for young men and young women to come in is perfect because it forced you to have to sign in the class every day. It forced you to have to, you understand what I'm saying? So now, even if I'm doing it because I just want to, just because I want to, you know, I'm forced to do it, guess what? Eventually, I'm going to start listening to these classes. Eventually, I'm going to hear what they're saying. I'm going to say, man, okay. Then I'm going to get to a state where I'm asking questions. Now my questions are getting answered. Now I'm in the spirit. Now I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? I learned something today. I want to see what class tomorrow about. Now I got my favorite teachers. Now I like the Monday class. I like General Highness breakdown. So I'm excited. Like after Monday, I know he teaches on Thursday. So after Monday class, I'm like, then I got the Commander General YAHANNA on the grill. I can't wait till Thursday because then I got General Highness teaching again. I just love General Highness classes. And then we got cross the line. Woo! Like it started becoming like you look forward to these different events. You know what I'm saying? Like some people may look at my class and be like, I can't wait till I was hopping that class again because the way he teaches, I'm not saying I don't really think nobody like my class, but I don't really, I don't matter. But I'm just saying that, but I have favorite brothers that teach classes, you know what I'm saying? Not just the generals. So, and I look forward to these certain classes. And that's when you got the spirit of the Lord. Like that demon is slowly starting to come up out of there. And that the spirit of the Holy Spirit is starting to take over now. Because now you're looking forward to class. Like last week, you was here. Right? And all week you probably was thinking about everything that you heard in class and the questions that was answered. And now you're like, man, I need to go back up there. I got some more stuff to feed. I need to feed my spirit some more. I got questions, man. I liked how he answered those questions. Let me come back up here. You see what I'm saying? And eventually it's going to get to a point where you start liking multiple classes. And next thing you know, you're going to find yourself in class all the time. Even when you're not physically here, you're going to be, when I'm doing other stuff, I listen to class. Even if I can't watch it, I just put it on my ear. You know what I'm saying? I put my earphones in and listen. So that's when you have that spirit on you. Did that answer your question about the demons? No sweat. Anything else? You good? All right. So now what I wanted to do is of course now since we've already spent the hour, I already knew this was going to be like probably a multi-series type of class, subject that I'm teaching on. So the subject is communion, or okay, the general subject is teachings, the breaking down the lies of the Christian church teachings, right? So the Christian church teach you that you're supposed to have communion every first Sunday of the month or something like that. Now the communion, I don't know if y'all familiar with that or if you. No, it's in the Baptist, it's in the we did it for sure. I actually grew up like Seventh-day Adventist and then Baptist. So I went through that church, Baptist, and also the Church of Christ. Like they have all different types of denominations, obviously. But yeah, it's not just in the Catholic. The Catholic, they do some other stuff. I don't know what the hell. My dad was a Catholic. I didn't grow up a Catholic, but I know they have some whole other stuff that they do, But the communion is something that's very popular in the Baptist church, at least churches I grew up in. Every church I grew up in, they did it. So communion is something that they do every first Sunday where they give me is it Matthew? Give me a second. I think it's Matthew chapter 26. It was right before, it was the Last Supper. Matthew chapter 26. Okay, yeah, so now Matthew chapter 26, verse 26, right? So we're gonna start there. Read that from. This is what the churches this is what they follow as communion. Go ahead.
Come on. The book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 26.
Uh-huh.
And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it.
Now, if anybody know at this time, this was around the Last Supper, right? This is when right before Christ was finna, be hung on the cross. This was the Last Supper, and it was also the Passover. A lot of people don't understand that. This was the Passover, right? So he said, read it again.
And as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it, and
break
it, and gave it to the disciples, and said, take, eat, this is my body.
You understand? So now, this is the Last Supper where Christ is taking the bread, and he break it, and he's giving it to the disciples, and he said, take it and eat, this is my body, right? Go ahead.
Come on, verse 27. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it.
Right, so this is the wine. So they had bread and wine, and this is the Last Supper. So the Last Supper, it was the Passover. So for the Passover, you eat the lamb with the unleavened bread, and you have the wine. You understand what I'm saying? This is the traditions of the Passover. So that they took the bread, you know what I'm saying? They was eating the bread, and he said, take this, eat of this, this is my body. Then he gave them a cup. He took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them. Go ahead.
Verse 28.
It says, drink ye all of us. So he's telling them to drink this wine, right? Go ahead.
Verse 28. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sin.
So it says, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins, right? So now it's like, okay, I believe it's another account where it actually tells them, do this in remembrance of me, right? So now, this is what they take in the Christian church and say, do this in remembrance of me. So they take the wine, they got a little cracker or whatever you want to take, and they pass it around, and they tell you, eat this, do this every first Sunday in remembrance of him. Why in the hell first of all, do anybody even know, I'm gonna break it down, but do anybody know why he says, take of this and eat of this, and take of this and drink of this, for this is my body and this is my blood? Do you even know what he's getting at? Why he says that? If you don't, it's fine. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I want to paraphrase a priest. Could this be a potential precept? Every man that taketh up his cross.
No, I wouldn't put that with that. But what I would say is this. Okay, I'm gonna break it down. Okay, so now the Christians take this and run with it. They say, do this in remembrance of him. But guess what? Do the Christians follow the laws of the Bible? No. Do the Christians keep the Passover? No. They don't even keep the Passover. So this is what he was saying. Do this in remembrance of me, meaning this is for the Passover. We keep the Passover. He kept, even before he finna die, he kept the Passover with his disciples. Instead of doing it amongst the people, he did it privately in his home. You understand? They kept the Passover in the home, right? But it was him and his disciples, and it was the Last Supper. And even he kept the Passover, so he was saying, do this in remembrance of me. So now we're going to break this whole thing down. And this is going to exceed time, so it's going to probably be like a multi-part thing, but we're going to go to the book of John and start at chapter 6. And we're just going to start breaking down that whole chapter. Or at least, we're going to start breaking down that whole chapter. Let's see. Chapter 6. All right, we're gonna break down this whole chapter. So now to just give like a brief intro into it, it's basically, Christ was saying, do this in remembrance of me, follow the laws, follow what I taught you, do as I did, walk in the way that I did. You understand? That's what he's saying. He's not saying, oh, eat my body and do this. Like literally do this every first Sunday in remembrance of me. No, how do you remember Christ? How do you do this in remembrance of Christ? You follow you follow the laws. You understand? That's how you do it. You keep the Passover like he kept the Passover. You follow the laws like he kept the laws. You understand? That's how you do it in remembrance of Christ. Not eating a cracker and drinking wine ain't gonna get you nowhere. The hell is that gonna do? You understand what I'm saying? That's what Christians they believe in. That's they believe in the spookiness of the Bible. They don't understand. They think, oh, I'm gonna eat this cracker and drink this wine. I'm covered in the name of Jesus, in the blood of Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, the hell, no, you just a cracker wine drinking, cracker eating wine drinking sinner. That's all you do. Right after you eat the cracker and drink the wine, you're gonna go home and you're gonna be doing all types of things. You're gonna be a whoremonger, you're gonna be a whore, you're gonna be eating pork. Matter of fact, right after that, they have dinner in the fellowship hall, and it's some damn smothered pork chops.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? They're gonna have a crawfish boil on 4th of July for a fundraiser. You understand? So they're not doing nothing. When the hell did Christ ever have a crawfish boil? You see what I'm saying? So, you know, you're not doing this in remembrance of him. You're doing this in remembrance of evilness and wickedness. That's what you're doing in remembrance of these idols that they worship. So let's start with John chapter 6, start at verse 1.
Book of John chapter 6, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
After these things, Jesus went over the sea of Galilee,
Mm-hmm.
which was the sea of Tiberias.
Uh-huh.
Verse 2. And a great multitude followed him, because they saw his miracles, which he did on them that were deceived.
So now he's in Galilee at this time, and a lot of people followed him because he was healing them. He was healing all manner of sickness and disease. So they like, man, we gotta stay close to this brother. This brother, he performing miracles. You understand what I'm saying? So I like how whatever he doing. You understand? So now the multitude followed him. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And Jesus went up into a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. And the Passover, a feast of the Jews, was nigh.
And the what?
And the Passover, a feast of the Jews, was nigh.
What a coincidence. So this is the Passover was nearby. It was coming. It was almost here. You understand what I'm saying? So that ties into, you know, the verse in Matthew what we just read, that when it was at the Passover. So this ties into that. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company coming to him. He said,
he saw a great what?
A great company.
So he saw some people coming towards him. A lot of people. Go ahead.
Coming to him, he said unto Philip, whence shall we buy bread that these may eat?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And this he said to prove him.
So he did this. He asked him, Philip, he like, so when we gonna get this? When we gonna get some bread to feed these people? Because they're gonna be hungry. You know, they're gonna need to eat. But he didn't do it because he knew these people were hungry. He did it to prove, to do another miracle. He wanted to prove to them that who he was, because he knew they were only following him because he was already performing miracles. So this was another miracle that he was going to perform, so that they know that he's truly the Son of God. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. Philip answered him, 200 penny worth of bread is not significant for them.
Sufficient.
Sufficient for them,
mm-hmm.
that every one of them may take a little.
So he was saying this ain't gonna be enough bread, that it's not gonna suffice for all these people. The amount that we have is not gonna be enough for these people, because each one of them probably is gonna take a little crumb, you know what I'm saying? That's not gonna be enough to feed everybody. Go ahead.
Verse 8. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said unto him, verse 9, there is a lad here which had 5 barley loaves.
So he said there was a lad here. There's a brother here that had 5 barley loaves. So 5 loaves of bread. Go ahead.
Okay. And 2 small fishes.
No, 300 fish.
And 2 small fishes.
2 small fishes. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. But what are they among so many?
So it's a lad here. He has 5 loaves of bread and 2 small fishes. But what the hell is this compared to all these people that we have to feed? This ain't gonna be enough. That's what he's saying. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 10. And Jesus said, make the men sit down.
No, ask him nicely.
Make the men sit down.
No, be like the Christians do and have no order.
Make the men sit down.
He said, make the men sit down. So he's passing an order down to Philip. You understand? He tell hey, make them sit down. You understand? He telling, he giving them an order. Hey, I need you to do, hey, make them sit down. You understand? He didn't say, hey, make them sit down. You understand? Go ahead.
Now there was much grass in the place. So the men sat down in number about 5,000.
So we already know how the Bible do things, how we as the Israelites do things. We do everything in decently and in order. So the men sat down, most likely rank in order. You understand? They sat down on the grass, and so it was 5,000 of them, right? So you got 5 loaves of bread, 2 small fishes, and 5,000 men. You understand? That ain't even including the women and children that they had to feed. This is just talking about 5,000 men, right? You get the point. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 11, and Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples to them that were set down.
So he said, so it says Christ took the loaves, right? When he had given thanks, he distributed to the disciples. So it's no different. So this right here is another thing. It's showing the rank and order amongst Christ and his disciples and even the men that were sitting. It wasn't all chaotic and everybody up and around and just getting up at one time trying to get the bread. He distributed to his disciples. The disciples distribute out the bread to the men. You understand? And just how we do when we have a feast day. We get up and rank in order, you understand? And we get it distributed like that. The women cook, and then, you know what I'm saying? Everything is order, right? It's no all over the place. That's how you know that you are among, that's how you know Christ wasn't no weak man. You talking about a man that's leading his disciples, making multitude of people sit while he's doing what he's doing. You understand? This was a great man of power. He was an austere man. You understand? He wasn't no weak man. Ain't nobody gonna respect no weak man. Ain't no weak man gonna be able to get 5,000 hungry men to just sit down and wait their turn to eat. Like, it's gonna be chaotic. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And likewise with the fishes as much as they would.
Right, so he distributed the 5 loaves of bread and 2 small fishes to 5,000 plus people, because you got to remember the women and children too. This was just the men. The men ate first. That lets you know again there was order. You understand? After the men ate, then the women and the children eat. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
When they were filled, he said unto his disciples, gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost.
So you mean to tell me out of 5 loaves of bread and 2 small fish, he fed all those people and there was still some left? Keep going.
Come. Verse 13. Therefore they gathered them together and filled 12 baskets with the fragments of the 5 barley.
How many baskets?
The 12 baskets with the fragments of the 5 barley loaves.
Good night. It was 12 baskets full of bread left. 12 baskets. You talking about 5,000 people. 5 loaves of bread not gonna even go through my household. Like, I don't even know. It's only what, 5, 6 people. You talking about feeding 5,000 people? Good night. Try to do that here at a feast day here in Houston. try to feed 20 people with 5 loaves of bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, that barely ain't gonna probably be nothing left. You understand? We're gonna eat seconds and all that. So you talking about a 5,000 people and 2 loaves. So this is how you know Christ performed a miracle. He turned the 5 loaves and 2 fishes of bread into enough to feed 5,000 plus people. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. With the fragments of the 5 barley loaves which remained over and above unto them that had eaten. Verse 14. Then those men, when they had seen the miracle that Jesus did, said, this is of a truth that prophet that should come to the world.
Say that again.
This is of a truth that prophet that should come into the world.
So they recognized after Christ did this, they recognized, hey, this man right here, this is of a prophet. I remember this is the prophecy being fulfilled of a man that's supposed to be coming into this, to us in this world. That, you know what I'm saying? This is the son of the Lord. this is the Son of God. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is how they knew, because it says, I'm gonna read it again. It says, then those men, when they had seen the miracle that Jesus did, said, this is of a truth, that prophet that should come into the world. You understand? So they knew that only this man will be able to do these things. That the things that he's doing, they knew that the prophecy, what the prophecy said, and Christ was fulfilling those prophecies. Go ahead.
Verse 15. When Jesus therefore perceived that they would come and take him by force to make him a king, he departed again into a mountain himself alone.
So Christ always was ducking and ducking. Like, you got to understand something. Christ doing the things he do, he was always trying to attempted to get confounded by the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and he knew the people was gonna put him. They knew who he was. Like, by the miracles he performed, they knew who he was, or what the prophet said of him, what the prophecy said of him. So they was gonna start uplifting him into this. It was gonna make Christ liked to, okay, how can I put it? Christ liked to be low key, but not low key to his people. Like, he wanted to reach his people to wake them up, the lost sheep of Israel, but he also didn't want to operate so loudly to the point where these Pharisees and stuff, because they trying to get him killed. They want to kill him. You understand? So he's really trying to avoid them, but he's trying to teach his people. So he would teach him and dip. You know what I mean? He'll give him a little bit and he'll move around. He'll teach over here in Galilee, then he'll dip overseas to go, to another spot. And after he teach over there for a little bit and they perform a couple miracles, then he dip again. You know what I'm saying? Just like a nigga. It's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Christ was a nigga. He going through the same thing, he teach and move around, you know what I'm saying? Because he don't want them to come get him. So he being wise as a serpent. You understand? Go ahead.
He
went up to the mountain.
Verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
And when even was now come, his disciples went down into the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 17. And entered into a ship and went over the sea towards Capernaum. And it was now dark.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus was not come to them. Verse 18. And the sea arose by reason of a great wind that blew.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 19. So when they had rowed about 5 and 20 or 30 furlongs.
All right, so now drop down to drop down to 24.
Verse 24. When the people therefore saw that Jesus was not there, neither his disciples, they also took shipping and came to Capernaum.
Okay, so now just skipping through there. They was on a boat, and you know what I'm saying, they had to go through a lot of stuff on the ship to get to Capernaum. After they got to Capernaum, the people that he was teaching, the people that he had performed those miracles for with the loaves and the bread and the fishes, they saw that he wasn't where he was at first. So guess what they did? They found out where he was, and they got on boats too, and they headed towards Capernaum themselves. You know, they're like, man, we can't let him slip through the cracks. We got this man just perform. We know that this man is the Son of God. We need to try to find him. You understand what I'm saying? So these people actually got on ships and traveled to Capernaum where Christ was. Go ahead.
Come. Seeking for Jesus. Verse 25. And when they had found him,
they found him
on the other side of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
They had said to him, Rabbi, when camest thou hither?
So they asked him, like, hey, Rabbi, when did you get here? Why did you leave? Like, they trying to figure out why he left from where he was, because they wanted some more, you know what I'm saying? They wanted some more food. You understand? That's what they wanted. They're like, man, he fed us. He did it. He performed a miracle. You understand? But guess what? You gotta. What were these people not doing now? If you know anything about after he fed the people, and at the end of the chapter, Christ did all this stuff. He performed these miracles to these people. But guess what? Did all these people come into the truth? Wow. You see what I'm saying? It's no different from the priests and prophets of the Lord that go out on Saturday and have camp and wake the people up and feed the people and give them water and everything else. But guess what? These same people only come around to do what? To get the food, to get the water. And we don't mind, because that's what we out there feeding our people. but they don't hear nothing that we saying. They pass up the man speaking on the podium to come at you some water. They don't hear nothing, like it's blocked out. They got tunnel vision. They don't care what the prophet's saying. It's some water over here. What up granola bars? You know what I'm saying? That's what these people were doing. That's the same thing. They traveled by sea. They came to find that. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like when we be downtown, man, you be seeing people that look like they never moved from their spot. But until we come out there, they be limping and rolling their wheelchairs and doing everything that they can to come over there to get some water or get some bread or with some clothes or, and like I said, no sweat, because that's what we out there doing. We out there to feed our people. We do not have no problem giving our people. We encourage them to come. But the main reason why we out there is to fish. We out here trying to wake our people up, but they don't care. They coming to get the food, the water, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay. But this is the same, it's biblical. That's all I'm trying to point out. It's the same thing Christ. You talking about, we're not even performing. With the miracles we performing is waking up the dead and healing the blind, meaning making them see again, meaning we show them the truth and now they see the truth. That's what we mean. So we are performing miracles. But Christ was actually performing physical miracles. He was doing it spiritually, and he was actually turning physical. He took 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish and fed 5,000 plus people. That's a miracle. You understand? Not to mention the disease and the sickness and stuff that he was healing. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the same group of people that followed him from Galilee to Galilee when he was healing the diseases. So they following him wherever he goes, trying to get whatever they can out of him. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus answered them and said,
and guess what? Christ knew what they was up to. Christ ain't dumb. Christ knew what they was trying to do. And what he said?
Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracle.
You seek me, you looking for me, not because you saw that I turned the bread to the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes and fed all of y'all, and it was some left. That you follow me, but not because of that. Go ahead. Not because of the actual miracle. The miracle aspect of it is he multiplied the food. But they not following him because of the miracle that he performed. Go ahead.
Okay, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled.
Because you ate and you got full. So now you trying to, you hungry. I can do this. I can perform these type of miracles to feed you. So now that's why you following me. But you're not even thinking like, this man performed a miracle. This man is the true, listen, he is that nigga. We need to, instead of worrying about this food that, you know what I'm saying? I'm hungry, but we need to realize who is in our presence. We need to realize who this man really is. It's no different from the priests and prophets of the Lord that's trying to wake their people up. Listen, yeah, we feed you, we give you water, but do you not realize who we are? We are the Lord's priests and prophets. We are the army of the Lord. That shit, like that holds a lot of weight that people take for granted, our people especially. Even some people that's in the truth, even like a lot of, sometimes you come home to your rib and you got to remind her, listen, I'm a priest and prophet of the Lord. Stop playing with me. You got to remind them sometimes because it's like you forget, you take it for granted. Why? Because, they've been around you. That's your husband. Of course, to you, that's your husband. But he is a priest and prophet of the Lord. And we are his children. We are the army of the Lord. We are not to be taken like for granted. The things that we say, the things that we teach, the things that how we move, how we show you how to move, that is not to be taken for granted. We take for granted greatness while we have it. Like Floyd Mayweather, we took him for granted. While he was here boxing before he was retired, we took him for granted. Oh man, people hated him. People, especially like our Northern Kingdom, they hate Mayweather guts because he always talk crap. They won't find somebody that can beat him, and he always he be fighting against he beat a lot of Mexican opponents and different, and they hate him. I mean, I be looking through the comments of some of the fights, and I be like, damn man, Isupk really hate Floyd. I be like, golly, they can't wait to see him beat up when Canelo was to fight Floyd. You know how many Northern Kingdom I seen in the comments like, yeah, we're gonna beat that puto, and I'm like, dang, they They want to see him lose bad. Why? Because he was so great. And he did talk crap, but he backed it up. He was so great. But now that he retired, them same Northern Kingdom brothers, them same people that I used to see in the comments hating on him, guess what they doing now? Guess what they doing now? They giving him his props. They say, man, yeah, man, you know, we may not like his style, but he was great, Holmes. You know what I'm saying? Like they starting to give him his props because guess what? When the greatness has retired, now you ain't got nobody to hate because it ain't nobody as good as Floyd. Well, now you do got boxers that's coming up, but I'm just saying somebody as great as him that proved that they're greatness like him. Let's go on Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Now that Jordan is retired and gone and old and owning the whole franchise and stuff, now people hate him. Now people love him. Now people reminisce on the greatness that he did. He's the GOAT. He put up 30 points per season. He averaged 30 points. He was on this many defensive teams. He was on this many All-NBA teams. He had this many championships. He had all this. He was so great. But when he was here, all they wanted to do was beat him. All they wanted to do is find it. Like, we can't wait. We tired of seeing the Bulls in the championship, just like the Warriors. I hate the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those. I'm glad they lost. You understand? But guess what? As we get older and they franchise die down, we're gonna remember their greatness. They had a good run for like a good 6-year run, 5-6 years, right? It was a dynasty, 73-9. You understand? We're gonna reminisce on that, but not right now, because right now I'm glad that I'm soaking in their loss right now. You understand? Their demise. But the point is, that's what I'm saying. While Christ is on the earth, it's like they're taking it for granted. They see that he's performing these miracles, but they're not really taking heed to what he's saying. They're not really following him. They're not coming into the truth. You understand what I'm saying? Just like when we teaching our people, they take us for granted because we out there every week. Oh yeah, they're gonna have some water, they're gonna have some food, we're gonna get some clothes, but they not listening. They take it for granted like this is gonna be an everyday, every Saturday thing. But guess what? One day Christ is gonna return. One day Christ is gonna return, and then what? That's it. You taking the priests and prophets of the Lord for granted. You come to these classes and you take it for granted. And guess what? One day I won't be here to teach you. My brothers won't be here to teach you because guess what? Christ is going to return. I can't wait till that day. You know what I'm saying? I want more of my brothers to come into the truth first, of course. You understand? Because I wouldn't wish Christ to return while brothers are still out here that can come into the truth. Because I know at one point I wasn't in the truth. And if Christ would have returned before I came into the truth, I've been out of there. You understand? I've been up the creek without a paddle. You know, I would have probably came into the kingdom 8 generations, like, you know what I'm saying? It'll tell them when I was gonna come to the kingdom if I wouldn't have gotten the truth, you know what I'm saying, before Christ came. So I'm glad I got the truth before Christ returned. So I'm not gonna pray that Christ returned now before all of these brothers and sisters that need to come into the truth come. But it will be a glorious day that I will be celebrating with my brothers. But for now, they taking Christ for granted, right? You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 27. Labor not for the meat which perish.
So don't come seeking me for the food. That the food gonna spoil. You're gonna eat, you're gonna get hungry, you're gonna digest it, you're gonna use the restroom, you're gonna be hungry again, right? Don't seek after the meat that perisheth. Go ahead.
Come. But for the meat which endureth unto everlasting life.
But the meat which endured into everlasting life, that's the meat that we're supposed to be looking for. Not the meat, the physical meat where you're going to eat, and it ain't going to take long for that to digest. You're going to be hungry again. You're going to keep getting hungry. That's not going to fulfill you. This meat that he's talking about is going to fulfill you into everlasting life. Keep going.
Come, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him had God the Father sealed.
You understand? Keep going.
Verse 28. Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of God?
Go ahead.
Verse 29. Jesus answered and said unto them, this is the work of God, that ye believe on him whom he has sent.
So he's telling you, listen, so now you're inquiring about all these things that you need to do because you came over here really because you're hungry. You're inquiring about this stuff, but this is what you need to do. This is what's going to help you. You need to believe on him that the Lord sent to you to wake you up, to give you this stuff, to tell you so you can come into this truth so that you can follow after me. That's what he's telling them. You worried about the food, you need to be trying to believe on me who the Lord has sent for you. You understand? That's what he's telling these people, man. And the man only want to know, our people only want to know, okay, what can I do just to get by to the next thing? What can I do? I'm trying to do whatever I need to do so you can make some more food happen. I'm hungry. I ain't really worried about what you're talking about, but I'll do some work just so I can get some of this food. What do I need to do? He's telling you it ain't about the work to get for the food. You need to be believing what I tell you. The Lord sent me for you. You need to be believing in me. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come. Verse 29. Then Jesus said unto them, this is the work of God, that ye believe.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Come, believe on him whom he has sent.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 30. They said therefore to him, what sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee?
So now they asking him for, so they still trying to provoke him to, show some sign, because he already done fed them, with 5 loaves of, he been performing miracles. You got to understand, people been following him since, he got to Galilee. That's what the John 1st chapter said. So he already been performing miracles, healing diseases, doing this. He turned the loaves. He fed all the multitudes with 5 loaves and 2 fishes and all this stuff, right? So they still asking him for a sign. You understand? Check on that. Ron, go ahead.
What doest thou work? Verse 31. Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written. He gave them bread from heaven to eat. Verse 32. Then Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not the bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven.
So he's saying what Moses gave you was not the true bread of heaven, but my Father, he's talking about the Most High, you understand, gave you that true bread, right? Go ahead.
Verse 33, for the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world.
You understand? So that's the true bread. Read that part again, because I don't think people understand what they're saying.
For the bread of God.
So for the bread of the Most High, go ahead.
Is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world.
So who's the bread of the Most High? Go ahead. Christ. You understand, right? He is the bread. The things that he say, the teachings that he's trying to teach his people, he's trying to wake his people up. That is the bread. That's what you need to be worried about. The physical bread, the food, you're only going to eat so much and get full, and you're going to be hungry again. That's not going to fulfill you. But the true bread, Christ, when you believe on him and do what he say, and you follow after him, that will give you everlasting life. That is the true bread of the Most High. You understand? Go ahead.
If I could, sir, is it safe to say in this instance they was trying to tempt Christ?
Hey, Ron, help out. How's it go? Go ahead.
Is it safe to say in this instance was they trying to tempt Christ to perform a miracle, like how they were saying God made manna fall from heaven? They was trying to tell Christ to make it rain bread.
What they trying to do is they don't have faith in the Lord. You understand? They didn't have faith in what Christ was saying. It's no different from when we telling our people, hey, you need to wake up, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, guess what? They're gonna come out. Well, how do we know? Who are you to say you are this and you are that? You're a prophet of the Lord and you got the truth. How are you the only ones with the truth? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. What can you show us that's different? It's no different. They're just trying to get Christ to basically, like you're saying, yeah, they're trying to, I don't want to use the word tempt, but that could be very well the right word to use. But they just don't have, they have ye of little faith. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 34. Then said they unto him, Lord, even more, give us this bread. Verse 35, and Jesus said unto them.
Hold on. So they said, so they still saying, give us this bread. They want the bread they want the physical bread. You get the point. They want to, like, they not worried about the bread that's going to save their damn life. They want the bread right now because they're hungry and they just want to get by. They want the physical bread. They said, give us this bread. But this is what Christ said.
I am the bread of life.
I am the bread of life. Go ahead.
He that cometh to me shall never hunger.
He that cometh to me shall never hunger. Not physically, not come to me because so I can make a loaf appear out of nowhere. No, because the things that I'm telling you, that's gonna feed you the real nourishment that you need for like forever. You understand? If you follow me and do what I say and do what I do, guess what? The Lord will be with you. You come into this truth, and you're gonna be saved. That's what he's saying. I'm trying to save your life. You want the bread, you trying to save your hunger pains. I'm trying to save your life. There's a difference. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. And he that believeth on me shall never thirst. Verse 36.
And he that believeth on me shall never thirst. So you got to understand, we're gonna leave it right there. We're gonna come back to it next week. But you got to understand what Christ is saying. Listen, you worried about being hungry and thirsty. So yeah, I could provide you with food. How long is that gonna get you by? Till you're hungry again. But if you believe on me, I am that bread of life. You understand? I'm that bread of life. And if you believe on me, you shall not thirst anymore. So I'm that bread and I'm that drink that you need to for the rest of your life. That's gonna save your life while you worried about being hungry. You understand? So that's what Christ is trying to get the message. And it's no different, like I said, from the real priests and prophets of the Lord teaching our people. Yeshaya, get that the security announcements from Rome so that way when we close up, you can have that on deck. This is what we go through. You know what I'm saying? Priests and prophets of the Lord, you understand, when we are out teaching our people, we got to deal with the scoffing, but then after we deal with the scoffing, we got to deal with, oh, well, yeah, y'all still got some of that water over there, right? Which, like I said, it's not a complaint. We don't mind feeding our people, but the real reason we out there is to feed our people. You get the point, right? We don't mind feeding you and giving you drink, but we really trying to feed you and give you drink. You get the point? That's what, for not to hold you off until next week, because you're going to be hungry again next week. You're going to be looking for some more water. You're going to be looking for some more granola bars. You're going to be looking for some more food. But guess what? If you eat what I'm trying to really feed you, you're not going to hunger no more. Matter of fact, you're going to be with us when we come back out here feeding the people. You're going to be out here setting up the tables of the food and the bread to try to fish in the next batch of people that, you know what I'm saying? That's the real food that we're trying to feed you. The real food, not the food that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to go too deep in it because we're going to pick up where we left off this week, next week. You understand? Is there any questions so far on the lesson? Y'all good? All right, with that, make sure you pay your tithes to the men of the Lord, www.I.S.U.P.K.com or .org. You understand? Click the donation link. Pay your tithes to the men of the Lord. I tell you every week what the tithes do. You know what I mean? Y'all already know it's self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? It is the law. Pay your tithes. You understand? With that, I'm going to pass the class over to Officer Yeshaya for the security.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. Will the I.S.U.P.K started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from their head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashur. 10% of every penny of every increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is going to be memorial of blowing of trumpets. It's going to be the first day of the 7th month, Saturday, September 28th, 2019. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. These are the security announcements.
Shalom to the brothers, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. To the sisters, Shalom Yahweh Shem Barakatah by Shem Yahshua.
All in my zone, spend so much time alone. While I ride trap on my chrome, always took for my own. Don't need all in my zone, spend so much time alone. While I ride trap on my chrome. Ain't none of these streets, nigga turn to E. While I dump police.